Now, as for New Mexico, state officials aren't saying how much money has been lost by people who took the Oppenheimer Core Bond Fund choice for their college savings. In fact, it appears they cannot say, since they tell us they have no staff assigned to keep tabs on the project. It's all handled by a commission chaired by the Secretary of Higher Education, and the commission meets only periodically to review financial reports on the status of investments. Ironically, those reports come from an outside manager, which is also part of the Oppenheimer family, though not directly tied to the Oppenheimer Core Bond Fund. KSFR's Cynthia Cook has been looking into the situation in New Mexico.
For investors whose children are very close to college age, the losses have been devastating. Bob Desiderio is the vice chairman of the Education Trust Board, the group that is responsible for the state's college savings program. He says that the board stopped putting any new investment dollars into the core bond fund as of the first of the year.
The board in January 1st decided that any new monies that come in, participant funds, that would have gone into the core bond fund will no longer would go into the core bond fund program or platform, as it's called. Instead, if it were the Scholars Edge program, it would go into American Century Fund. And if it were the New Mexico Educational Plan, it would go into the Dreyfus Fund.
Desiderio says the board then had to decide what, if anything, to do with the monies already invested in the core bond fund.
The monies that were already in the core bond fund would be moved to some other fund. So we would take the old monies out. But along that line, what we did was hire an investment counselor, Wilshire Consulting. And what Wilshire told us, one, that it was a correct decision for us to move the money. Two, that we ought to follow the same plan that we filed for the new money. And so now the steps are being taken to do that.
Oppenheimer also acts as the program administrator for the state's program. The contract runs until 2015. Desiderio says that the board has been happy with the performance of Oppenheimer as administrator, and there are no plans to change that.
Presently, there is a contract. It is a long-term contract in the sense that I think its remaining term is till about 2015. With it, it's not that easy just to change an administrator. And so, and again, their activity as a program administrator is completely independent of the Oppenheimer Fund activity with it. And so right now, we have not made that decision. We have been happy with their role as a program administrator.
There are several other states in the same boat as New Mexico. Oregon filed a suit which alleges that the state lost over $36 million and is in the process of replacing the company as program administrator. Illinois just announced what it is calling a handshake agreement with Oppenheimer, whereby Oppenheimer will return $77 million of the estimated $85 million in losses suffered by its investors. New Mexico's Attorney General is in talk with Oppenheimer, as are Maine, Nebraska, and Texas. Desiderio would not comment other than to confirm the talks.
All I can say, the Attorney General is investigating. But let me add, there is one other thing. Remember, there are 4 or 5 other states in this position. It may include Illinois, Texas, Nebraska, and Maine. And the investigation is a multi-state investigation.
That's Bob Desiderio of the Education Trust Board. For KSFR News, this is Cynthia Cook.
And repeating a few key points, we don't know yet just how much money has been lost by New Mexico families investing in one of those college savings plans. Plus, the spokesman for New Mexico's Attorney General says they haven't decided yet whether to file a lawsuit against Oppenheimer for touting the qualities of that particular bond fund.